Yeah. And we had Andrew jacked up there. We were all eyes were on Andrew. We haven't seen him full body revealed in a long time. And when I saw him up there, I thought he was a little on the heavy side, especially because he's 11 weeks out from the Texas Pro. What was your thought seeing him front row?
I agree with you. I thought he was a little too big to be 11 weeks out, but maybe he's got that crazy metabolism, just brings it right down right away. But he was definitely large.
Yeah. And I made a video about that, and that he was a little on the heavy side. He looks great. He looks like he's made improvements. But if he's a guy that's already kind of dealing with that conditioning issue, kind of the same issue Samason Dauda has, to be so heavy in the off season and then have to try and bring it down on 11 weeks, are you going to have that conditioning from the back, which is what you're looking for? You're looking for that hardness.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's 11 weeks go by very quickly.
Well, that leads me into the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing we just had. You were there. It was an awesome event. We had Andrew there. We also had Nick Walker. You saw Nick Walker. He's a week out from your show. What's your opinion on how he was looking a week out?
I think he just needs to come in a little tighter, and he'll be as dangerous as always.
Another guy that wasn't there, unfortunately, was Big Ramy. He said that he had some visa delays. We all missed him there. What's your thoughts on Big Ramy not showing up there again?
Very disappointed.
Yeah,
this is the first time he's done this.
What do you think about Big Ramy? Like, where's he headed now? Do you think he's still got an opportunity to be in that, top five at least at the Olympia?
He's definitely got the opportunity, and he has the body, but I don't know if he has the mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you win that Mr. Olympia a couple of times and then you lose it, you might lose that hunger. I don't know if he lost the drive or not. I know he has the potential to come back and win, but I don't know if mentally he's prepared.
I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about Samason Dauda and the potential that he has to become the Mr. Olympia. What do you think he needs to do to win the Mr. Olympia?
Better conditioning.
Better conditioning. And
yes.
do you think the conditioning, especially from the back and bringing in the glutes in the backside, is a genetic thing, or is it just he needs to work harder?
I think he needs to work harder and just dig down deeper.
So there's been a lot of guys now in the pro league, and especially at the Olympia, hitting vacuum poses. Now, as a head judge for the Mr. Olympia in the IFBB, do you prefer guys like Hadi, Derek Lunsford, now even Samason Dauda hitting that vacuum pose? Does it make a difference in your eyes? Do you get any more credit for that?
Honestly, I don't mind it, but I prefer abdominals. I prefer a good set of hard, deep etched abdominals.
Is Derek Lunsford beatable? Do you think the physique that Hadi had at the 2024 Arnold Classic Ohio would have beaten the Derek Lunsford at the 2023 Mr. Olympia?
Yes.
So, and so this year you got first place prize for the Open Men's Bodybuilding is $30,000, which is awesome.
A $5,000 gold ring.
And a $5,000 gold ring. Everyone calls this the biggest bodybuilding show in the circuit, opposed to, say, the Arnold and the Olympia. This is the one right there.
Well, this is the only one except for the Arnold and the Olympia. It's only a pro show. There's no amateur show with it.
Yes.
This is the only standalone pro show left in our organization.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Muscle Discord, and we have a really, really special guest on the show, head judge Steve Weinberger. Man, thank you for coming on the show. This is a big one, especially that we're 5 days out from the 2024 New York Pro Show, and I appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure. Awesome.
Well, like I said, we are 5 days out at the time of recording this video from the 2024 New York Pro, and thank you for having you on. So my first question, just to give a little bit of a context and recap, can you tell people how you got started in bodybuilding? Because that's not talked about a lot when you've done other interviews. So tell me how you got started in bodybuilding and why you're so passionate and committed to the sport.
I love bodybuilding. I started 42 years ago in 1982 as a runner backstage, run and get this, run and get that. And I worked my way up. Jim Mannion gave me opportunities that I took, and I was able to flourish with them. It was honestly, he saw something in me and he gave me an opportunity, and I took it and I ran with it.
Okay. All right. And then how did you come about to start back then it was called the Night of Champions, now the New York Pro. How did you come to start that, and what year did that first show take place?
2005.
Okay. Okay. And how did that come up to be about starting that first show?
Well, the Night of the Champions and its promoter was asked to leave or left the IFBB, and we took that show and turned it into the New York Pro.
Yeah. Okay. So 2005, and
Yes.
you've been running that
Been
show
running
ever
it
since. And
Yes.
a question. Why did it change from the Night of Champions to the New York Pro Show? Because
Well, we
people
didn't
say
own
that
the
all the time.
rights to that name, so we didn't want to pay for the name, so we just called it the New York Pro.
Okay, so that quashes that. Everyone in the comments, why is it the Night of Champions? Now you guys know
We didn't
why
want
it's
to pay for the name.
yes.
Right.
There you go. So, and so this year you got first place prize for the open men's bodybuilding is $30,000, which is awesome.
The $5,000 gold ring.
And a $5,000 gold ring. This is, everyone calls this the biggest bodybuilding show in the circuit, opposed to say the Arnold and the Olympia. This is the one right there.
Well, this is the only one except for the Arnold and the Olympia. It's only a pro show. There's no amateur show with it.
Yes.
This is the only standalone pro show left in our organization.
Yeah. So that's that as well. And you know, $30,000. Tell us what that means to you, because you've been doing this since 2005. Now to have that first place prize money at $30,000, what does that mean to you?
I'm very proud, and I'm very happy to be able to offer the athletes big prize money compared to what we did have, and hopefully next year it'll even be more. We just want to keep growing it.
Awesome.
And keep supporting the athletes.
Supporting the athletes, supporting the industry, and that's what you've been doing. And you know, I wanted to just put that out there. So for this weekend coming up, what can we expect from your show? Is there anything else going on that you want to talk about this weekend that's coming up?
Well, we're running 9 divisions, everything but fitness.
Okay.
And we're very excited. We have a very good lineup. The men's open is exciting. The 212, all divisions are very exciting. It's really going to be I think the best New York Pro ever.
We're going to get into that. It's going to be a stacked lineup. So everyone's talking about the New York Pro this year, and all eyes are on the New York Pro. Can you tell us a bit about the live stream, how much it costs, how much are tickets for people who still want to get tickets? You want to get a lot of people in the crowd there.
If you want to do the live stream now, it's still only $20.
Okay.
You can just go to the website or go to mpcnortheast.com or bevfrancis.com and get it there. You could also get tickets there too. You could also get tickets the day of the show.
Okay. All right. So let's jump into a little bit about the athletes and competing and the criteria. So there's been a lot of guys now in the pro league, and especially at the Olympia, hitting vacuum poses. Now, as a head judge for the Mr. Olympia in the IFBB, do you prefer guys like Hadi, Derek Lunsford, now even Samason Dauda hitting that vacuum pose? Does it make a difference in your eyes? Do you get any more credit for that?
Honestly, I don't mind it, but I prefer abdominals. I prefer a good set of hard, deep etched abdominals. Okay,
so it's not. Is there a reason why you think a lot of these bodybuilders now are starting to hit the vacuum pose in front of you?
I think it gives them that smaller waistline. It gives them that big V taper, but I necessarily don't think it looks as good as deep cut abdominals, in my opinion.
Because it is called the ab.
I don't mind when they do a vacuum, go to the abs, and then go back to a vacuum, but show those abs.
Show the abs. You got to show the abs in the ab and thigh pose. That's what it's called. So wanted to pick your brain a little bit, if you're able to, on the recent Arnold Classic Brazil. I know you weren't there to judge it, but Tonio, the reigning New York Pro champ, competed in that show and got second to Rafael Brandao. How did you see that show? And it was honestly, a 6 point.
I hate to judge a show I'm not at. They both look great. I mean, Rafael looked great.
Yeah.
A man who's doing the New York Pro looked great. He reminds me of a young Dexter Jackson.
Yes.
He's going to be a dangerous guy. Very dangerous.
What do you think about Tonio's potential? Obviously, he's won the New York Pro and he's coming back to defend his title. You know, his physique, his structure, his shape. What kind of opinion do you have on his physique?
It reminds me of Dexter Jackson, honestly, which, you know, obviously Dexter was very successful. He was Mr. Olympia, won many pro shows, and I think Tonio is following in his footsteps.
Yeah, agreed. I always say it reminds me of Dexter Jackson 2.0. I say that a lot in my show, and he definitely has the similarity to Dexter. I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about Samason Dauda and the potential that he has to become the Mr. Olympia. What do you think he needs to do to win the Mr. Olympia?
Better conditioning.
Better conditioning. And
Yes.
do you think the conditioning, especially from the back and bringing in the glutes in the backside, is a genetic thing, or is it just he needs to work harder? What
I think he needs to work harder and just dig down deeper. I think the last couple of times we saw him, he was getting better. I think he's starting to nail it.
Starting to nail it. So yeah, I mean, I really want to see Samson get in there, get in the mix and go to that, second or first if he can pass Hadi and Derek Lunsford. But do
Definitely
you
has
think
potential.
he has the potential? Definitely. We all see that. We all rooting for Samson to get there. Um, do you think a bodybuilder and a Mr. Olympia now has to have, is that the standard that they need striated glutes? Is that being too?
Well, I mean, conditioning is very important. I mean, it's striated glutes alone don't. I mean, you come in with striated glutes, I mean, you're going to win a show. I mean, it's conditioning, overall conditioning.
Okay.
It's not one body part that's going to win a show for you. It's
Yes.
overall conditioning.
Overall conditioning from the front and back, and
Yes.
that needs to come into play. So is Derek Lunsford beatable? Do you think the physique that Hadi had at the 2024 Arnold Classic Ohio would have beaten the Derek Lunsford at the 2023 Mr. Olympia?
Yes, but now remember, Derek has a whole nother year to prepare to get better, as does Hadi. So it's going to be interesting. And we're also going to see if Samson brings the conditioning he needs to go after those two guys.
Yeah.
And then don't forget there's Nick Walker. I mean, he's improving all the time too. And there's Andrew Jack. I mean, there's a half a dozen very, very, very good bodybuilders out there that at any time could take this title.
Well, that leads me into the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing we just had. You were there. It was an awesome event. We had Andrew there. We also had Nick Walker. You saw Nick Walker. He's a week out from your show. What's your opinion on how he was looking a week out?
I think he just needs to come in a little tighter, and he'll be as dangerous as always.
Yeah. And we had Andrew jacked up there. We were all eyes were on Andrew. We haven't seen him full body reveal in a long time. And when I saw him up there, I thought he was a little on the heavy side, especially because he's 11 weeks out from the Texas Pro. What was your thought seeing him front row?
I agree with you. I thought he was a little too big to be 11 weeks out, but maybe he's got that crazy metabolism, just brings it right down right away. But he was definitely large.
Yeah, and I made a video about that, and that he was a little on the heavy side. He looks great. He looks like he's made improvements. But if he's a guy that's already kind of dealing with that conditioning issue, kind of the same issue Samason Dauda has, to be so heavy in the off season and then have to try and bring it down on 11 weeks, are you going to have that conditioning from the back, which is what you're looking for? You're looking for that hardness.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's 11 weeks go by very quickly.
Yes. Quicker than most want it when you're dieting for a show, and we're going to see. And another guy that wasn't there, unfortunately, was Big Ramy. He said that he had some visa delays. We all missed him there. What's your thoughts on Big Ramy not showing up there again?
Very disappointed.
Yeah,
this is the first time he's done this.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because this is, like you said, this isn't the first time he's done this, and he made a post on social media about it, and it was a quick, brief post, just a photo, not even a recent photo. And I made a video about this, and I said, what, it would have been nice if Ramy just would have put out a video and said, hey guys, sorry, my visa, I got delayed, but here's how I look. Sorry I couldn't make it. At least you guys can see what I'm looking like.
I agree.
Yeah. It was unfortunate that he couldn't have just at least revealed physique. What do you think about Big Ramy? Like, where is he headed now? Do you think he's still got an opportunity to be in that top 5 at least at the Olympia?
He's definitely got the opportunity, and he has the body, but I don't know if he has the mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you win that Mr. Olympia a couple of times and then you lose it, you might lose that hunger. I don't know if he lost the drive or not. I know he has the potential to come back and win, but I don't know if mentally he's prepared. You got to dig down deep to win that show.
Yeah. And right now it's kind of, we don't know what's kind of going on in his head right now. But hopefully he makes it. We all love Big Ramy. He's very humble. He's a great guy for the sport.
Very, very good.
Yeah. Yes. And so we hope to see him back up on the Olympia stage this year. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, the bodybuilding shows now, and sometimes the turnout is a little, lower than we would like to see for some of the deeper lineups in the show. The New York Pro is going to be a deep lineup, but some other pro shows don't have those deep lineups. Do you think we should bring back the point system to qualify for the Olympia, or is there anything that you could see change to kind of improve that?
No,
aspect of
I
judging?
don't think the point system is very confusing. I think the more shows, the more opportunity there are for athletes to make money. So the more shows there are, I think the better it is for the athletes.
Okay.
The only thing that I think is when you have 50 or 60 people lined up to do a show like the Mr. Olympia, that to me is too much. It should maybe be an elimination round.
Okay, elimination
That's
round. So
something that's been discussed, and that's not a bad idea.
okay, that seems like a really good idea, actually. So that would be awesome to see. Can you break it down? You're the head judge of the IFBB and you're head judge at the Olympia and a lot of these shows, man. So you've been there, you've seen it. What are you looking for? What are the main criteria points? Conditioning, shape, symmetry, size, muscularity. Like, what are you looking for as a judge?
Size and muscularity and shape. That's it. There's nothing else. Great shape, good size, and excellent muscularity. I mean, you have to have size, you have to have shape, and you have to be in shape.
Yes, and being in shape, like if you made the point we could made, Samason Dauda's shape is better than Hadi's Shupam, but he's not been beating Hadi because he doesn't have that conditioning.
Conditioning.
Conditioning is a key aspect, and that's what you're
Yes.
looking for, especially from, in the front and back, right? It can't just be the
Yes,
back.
absolutely.
It can't.
All overall.
Overall conditioning and shape, guys, is what Steve is telling us here. Kind of a funny question here. I just want to ask you, if you weren't a judge or a bodybuilder, what would you be doing?
Well, before I was a judge and a bodybuilder, I worked for the New York Post, and I was delivering newspaper. I was a truck driver.
Truck driver delivering newspapers. Just wanted to ask that one and put that out there. And for all the Olympians that you've judged, what was the most impressive lineup that you've seen of all the Miss Olympians you judged?
Honestly, every one of them has been impressive, but the one 84 seeing Sergio come back was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then Ronnie Coleman winning his first Olympia when everyone thought Flex Wheeler was going to win it. And
yeah.
Ronnie came out of nowhere to win it. I think those two stand out.
Okay. So I don't know the year that was when Sergio came back, but I know 1998 was when
84,
Ronnie. 84, sorry. Yeah. And then 1998, Ronnie won his first Miss Olympia. That's when I first started
everyone thought Flex was going to win that until they started quarter turning them, and from the back of Ronnie's was unbelievable.
But next level, he took that conditioning to another level and didn't stop for
he didn't.
Almost a decade there. So that was awesome to see that era of bodybuilding. Do you think I just saw Lee Haney come out with an interview on Generation Iron saying that, now we're kind of in the Frankenstein era of bodybuilding, where a lot of have the blockier waist and just huge body parts, but the symmetry really isn't there. How do you see it now? Because that's Lee Haney, 8-time Mr. Olympia.
I disagree. I think if you look at a Samson and an Andrew and you look at our reigning Mr. Olympia, I mean, these guys have small waists and beautiful shapes. I mean, maybe he's talking about a guy like Nick, but if you see Nick in a front double bicep lately, he looks really symmetrical. So I mean, I don't think it's the era of blockiness. I really don't. I mean, a blocky body is not going to win, and the guys that are winning have great shape.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's pretty, maybe a little bit shocking for Lee Haney to say that out in public and to put that out there. But again, he comes from a different era. Okay, the guys weren't as big.
He had honestly, arguably the classiest of all Mr. Olympias. Great shape, great conditioning. I mean, 8 years in a row. I mean, it's amazing, but I disagree with him.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's apples and oranges, I guess, from two different eras, and I guess he's more pro for his era, and I see that. I mean, the guys are much bigger, much thicker, more dense muscle. Nick Walker is an example of that. But you got guys like Derek Lunsford that have that symmetry as well on the tiny waist, but they're thick and full.
Look at Samson. Look at his symmetry. Look at Andrew Jack. Look at his symmetry. I mean, Hadi's not blocky. I mean, he's not a shape monster, but he's conditioned and he has good shape.
Yeah, he does. Symmetry and shape.
He's blocky at all, honestly.
No, pulling the vacuum on that stage. These guys are Samson's pulling the vacuum. Derek's pulling the vacuum. So it's good to see that they're giving kind of homage to the era before them when they were doing those vacuums, right?
Right.
So that's awesome to see. Well, I mean, I appreciate you coming on the show, and I wanted to just kind of talk about Bev's Gym. When did you start Bev's Gym? Just for the fans to see.
In 1986.
86. So almost 40 years. And if you could describe Bev's Gym in one word, what would it be?
Hardcore.
Hardcore. Well, it is, man. I've been there a few times. I love it. And if you're in the area, guys, definitely go check out Bev's Gym. Again, the show is coming up, the 2024 New York Pro this weekend. It's going to be an exciting one. There's going to be a live stream. Make sure you get it. Tickets are on sale for $20 right now. And then if you're in the area, definitely go check it out. Purchase your tickets. There's still tickets available for people to come in person.
There are tickets available and pay-per-view. And I just want to give a shout out to Jim Mannion, because without him, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in, and I really appreciate it. He gave me the opportunity, and I love the man.
Awesome. Yes. J.M. Mannion is just the godfather. I call him the godfather of bodybuilding, man.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
Yeah. Pay respect to him, guys, because it's where it's been. He's given
That's the guy who brought all these divisions in and made the sport what it is today. You know, I mean, he really opened it up for so many other athletes with so many other divisions that he really blew the sport up.
He did. It was great to see Tyler Mannion make that announcement at the Pittsburgh Pro that they're going to bring an expo there. They're going to step it up next year.
It's going to be very exciting. Yes.
Awesome. So a lot of great things happening in bodybuilding, guys. And, I guess we can kind of quick before we wrap it up, the prize money at the Arnold announced that the 2025 Arnold, Ohio is going to have $500,000 first place prize money, which is huge. Do you think the Olympia is going to kind of back that up and match it?
Sure. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Olympia, you got to remember, the Olympia runs a lot more divisions.
Yes.
So they have a lot of prize money to begin with, but I'm sure they will. I'm sure that, that is, the Olympia is the ultimate. So, I mean,
the Super Bowl.
The Arnold's doing 5. I'm sure the Olympia is going to do 5. I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I would think.
Yeah, definitely. That would be awesome to see. And it's good to see the prize money going up. You've increased the prize money.
Great for the athletes. It's great.
It's great. It's great for the athletes.
A great time to be a bodybuilder. There's money to be earned and a good living to make.
It definitely 100%. Well, Steve, man, I appreciate you coming on the show again, guys. This is 5 days out before the 2024 New York Pro, and it's going to be an amazing weekend. We have a huge stacked lineup. Go watch the show. Go watch the pay-per-view. Again, Steve, thanks for coming on the show.
Anytime.
All right. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
Yes, sir.